Sure.
All right. I think we live, bro. Yep, we live. We are live, bro. How you feeling, man?
Feeling good. I'm feeling good. Good night.
Yeah,
It's a blessing to be here again. How you feeling?
I feel pretty good, man. I feel pretty good. Feel like we're gonna bring out some topics that don't usually get talked about, but I think it's always awesome when we can do that, man.
Most definitely.
So I got my laptop up. Uh, we'll give people a couple minutes to come on in,
Hmm.
and then we'll start breaking the ice just a little bit.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, what's up, TPP? How you doing, bro? TPP, what's happening? What's up, man? Fourth wall, what's up, man? How you feeling, bro? What's going on? Fourth wall break in the building. TPP in the building.
Yes, sir.
How are you, Will and JT? I'm doing good. JT, do you have
Yes.
your regular chat up, or you can't see the
Yeah.
chat?
Oh,
You
yeah.
can
I
see the
just brought
chat.
it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, sir. I'm doing well, fourth wall. Thank you for asking.
Yeah,
What's up,
man, we're doing pretty
TPPT?
good. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just saying what's up to TPPT.
For sure, man. TPP was in the chat before it started. He's like, 15 minutes left. I'm ready.
Let's go.
We hope. We hope so, man. Listen, tonight we're talking about family matters. Family matters. Something that doesn't get talked about a lot, but we are going to do everyone the honors, bring up good questions so we can have good conversation. All right, we'll give everybody about 1 or 2 more minutes and then we'll go ahead and get into the discussion. It's all good, JT?
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. How was your day today, Fourth Wall? How was your day today, TPP? I might as well engage the people that are here right now. How y'all day to day was?
Yes, sir.
I'm here to learn and grow. You will see I've been listening. That's what I love to see, man. You see that?
Yeah.
Young Bull said, I'm here to learn and grow. You
And
will see
grow.
I've been listening. I love that, brother.
Exactly.
I love that, man.
Let's
That's what
go.
it's all about, baby. That's what it's all about. That is what it's all about. All right, I'm gonna bring this camera on in a little bit. It's 2 a.m. your time. TPP, where are you from again, bro? I think you're from yeah, where are you from, bro? If it's 2 a.m. your time.
Wow, 2 a.m.
Estonia. Wow.
Wow.
That's incredible. What is the weather like in Estonia, man? That's incredible. When I hear some of these countries, man, it makes me want to get up on my geography. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
All right, family. Without further ado, welcome Grow Gang. Welcome JT. It's Unc. It's Nephew. We're gonna talk about family matters tonight, man. The beautiful part about this conversation is, regardless of if you come up and talk to us on the screen or if you
Hmm.
talk just in the chat, it adds value to the conversation. And we're just trying to go so that we can grow. JT, your camera view changed. So you might
My
have put it
camera?
on landscape, but it's vertical.
Oh, it changed?
Did you turn your phone?
Wait, let me see
Out,
something.
out. It was just raining like crazy, and now it's kind of snowing. Wow, it's snowing over there. Oh my goodness, that's incredible. Yeah, that's back to
That
normal, bro. I've seen
perfect.
where the confusion was. I'm still at the gym, so my bad if it takes if my tech makes your brain burn. It's all good, bro. There's no confusion over here, bro. It is all good.
Exactly.
All right, so we're going to do it a little different this time than the last open lines, open minds. I'm going to let JT come on in, and
That's-
I'm going to let JT come on in and ask the questions. I'll be the one answering the questions today. He'll ask the
Yes, sir.
questions. Chat, you know, me and you, we're going to keep talking. You guys are going to help me with some of the answers. We're going to put some of your answers up on stage so that people can read it for themselves. But
Mm-hmm.
all in all, we're going to get this thing rocking. Let's go ahead and say hello to a couple more people.
Sir.
Raphael says, "What's up, guys? I've been listening while doing stuff in the background, but I'm happy to listen in and hear about the topic. Appreciate you, Raphael. Good to see you, man. Good to
Sir.
see you." TPP is here. Fourth Wall is greeting TPP. We ready to kick this thing off. Open line, open minds, family matters. We're gonna talk about it, y'all. Let's
Yes,
go.
sir.
All right, so go ahead, JT.
All right.
Um,
So I'm gonna start. I'm gonna kick off the first question, chat, with I don't know why my camera keeps doing this. I'm not even touching it. My
uh-huh.
my device is like how it always is, but I'm not gonna let that distract me. So my first question it will be for you, Coach Will. What does family mean to you personally?
What does family mean to me?
Personally.
Well, I think if you talk about family from the standpoint of what we would call family on a general from a general basis, I think a family is the network of people that you were born into. The network of people that you were born into. That would be my answer for what family is, generally.
Hmm.
Now, as I have, you know, lived a little bit and kind of, you know, started to realize what family truly
Hmm.
is it's not just the network of people you were born into, but it's an exchange of love, respect, and gratitude. So it's a network of people that have love, respect, gratitude, and support for one another.
Mm.
Yeah, so
Mm.
that would be my
So,
answer.
so just
Mhm.
to get some clarity for the audience, so your first general point was the network of people that you were born to, meaning like your blood, your DNA. But after experiences and you done lived a little bit, you now understand it's not only just blood, DNA, chromosomal ties, but it's also the love, the respect, and the gratitude that's shared amongst a group of people. So even someone who's born out of your bloodline could be part of your family, correct?
Absolutely, because some people don't have people that are in their bloodline,
Hmm.
and they still have people that love, care, and support them. You
That
know what
is
I mean?
good. That is good. That is
So
good.
I say yes, yes. I say yes. I say family is it's more than it's thicker, or it goes far beyond bloodline, if you will.
Yeah,
You know what I
that
mean?
is true. Yeah, there's intangibles that play into factor that go far beyond just being blood. And I agree. I definitely agree with you. I think you know, just like for example like labels of brother, sister, cousin, all those things, right? Some people don't have that. There's people in situations who do not have that network, who rely on people that they have trusted over the years, that have loved them and supported them, to create that network within each other. So that was a wonderful answer. I appreciate that. Appreciate that appreciate that
Glad you
so I'm gonna
liked it,
keep it
bro. Glad you
rolling.
liked it, bro. Yes,
I'm
sir.
gonna keep on rolling, and how do you think family influences people's lives, right? As like an individual, what do you think the influence that family has on people's lives?
I think family has a huge implication on people's lives.
Hmm.
It's how you were born. I mean, if you just keep it 100, you were born into a certain group of people. You
Hmm.
didn't choose who you were born into. You had no choice over being here. You just were. You know what I'm saying?
That is
So
true.
it can affect you heavily because it is the environment in which you grow into
Hmm.
when you're becoming an individual and you're growing and maturing in this thing called life. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I think that it can have good or positive influences on a person, and I think that it can have negative influences on a person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think it goes both ways, but the reality is, you're gonna be influenced by your family regardless of if you're paying attention or not.
Yeah, that was you could not have said that answer any much better.
Thank you.
Because if you look at it, right, your childhood is probably the most impressionable and the most influence you will be, right? That's when
Hmm.
you're learning everything, you're learning patterns, you're seeing stuff and stuff like that. So when you're growing up, like you said, you have no choice who your parents are, who your brothers and sisters are, who your cousins are. That's just who you are. It's just
Right,
what God has placed you in, right? So
right,
you grow up, you didn't ask, oh, can I learn how to speak this way or read this way, or can I learn about these type of jokes, or could I be a fan of baseball instead of being a fan of basketball? It's just what you
right.
grew up around, the traditions that you've learned, that you were born into, and we kind of, like you said, take on those implications. And that was an example of using positive ones, but there's also negative ones, right?
Sure.
Where kids grow up seeing certain stuff, or teenagers, young adults grow up seeing certain stuff, and they take that on because they're like, well, my big brother's doing it, right? My
Right,
uncle's doing it, my aunt is doing it, my mom is doing
right,
it, so they learn different patterns like that, and it goes into so many different avenues, right? Career wise,
right.
your spirituality, um,
Hmm.
mental health, physical health, um,
Sure.
how the way you look at life, the lens you look at life through, and stuff like that.
Right.
So
I totally agree with that.
that's that is
I totally agree. I
definitely
totally
a
agree with
good
that.
answer. Yeah,
Yeah, I totally agree
definitely
with
a good
that.
answer.
Family affects all of that.
Yeah.
The beautiful part about it is, regardless of how you were born or what you were born into,
Hmm.
eventually you become an adult, and then you
Hmm.
can start to recreate your reality, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's more so learning from what you went through,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of trauma, which we'll get to. There's a
Hmm.
lot of trauma that creates mentalities for people.
Yeah.
Whereas if I went through a traumatic experience when I was younger, or if I continue to go through trauma, I kind of carry that trauma. I wear it on my sleeve.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes people are a product of their family,
Hmm.
but when you get old enough, you can actually become an overcomer of your family if it was a traumatic experience with your family.
Yeah. That is
You
true.
understand?
That
You
is
know?
very true, man. That's very true,
Yes.
and it's beautiful how you put it because remember, there's not like any definitive handbook on how to be a parent or how to be an older brother or how to be an uncle, how to be an aunt. Everybody is
Right.
just kind of learning as they go, right? And
Yes.
everybody's just trying to do their best with
Hmm.
um with that position, with that role. And
Yes.
sometimes it still leaves gaps for maybe the child or the person growing up to,
Hmm.
like you said, still face some type of trauma and stuff like that they will eventually have to deal with. But like you said, one of the pros of being an adult is when you're starting to grow up, you're getting in a position where, okay, I can start making some of my own decisions. Is okay, I'm going
Hmm.
to pick and choose and learn. I'm going to pick, I'm going to learn what to take with me as an adult and what to leave behind with me as I'm
Right.
crossing over to start making my own decisions, right?
Right. No, I
So
totally agree with that.
that's really awesome because some stuff you want to take with you, like, oh, this was great, like this was I learned this, it helped me excel, it makes sense, blase blase. But you know what,
Right.
this I don't know if I want
Right.
to bring this into the new family that I'm creating.
Right.
Yeah, which is
Right.
pretty cool.
Right. And that's a decision that people have to make at a certain point in their life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, because again, we don't choose who we're born into. We don't choose the family that we're born into. The
yeah,
only thing we choose is the family that we create beyond that.
yeah.
That's literally the
That's
only thing we choose. You know what I mean?
yes, sir.
So I appreciate that question. I think that's a great question, the way you framed it. Appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Oh no, it's my pleasure,
Mhm.
man. It's definitely
Yes,
my
sir.
pleasure.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Before I get to the next question, you want to look at some of these comments before I get to the next one? Just so we
Sure. I
know.
see
Yeah.
Fourth Wall says we are who we choose to be. What do you think about that, JT? We are who we choose to be. What do you think about that?
We are who we choose to be. So
Mm,
I see what Fourth Wall is saying, and
mhm.
there are certain because questions like this, I like to kind of like play both sides and try to get all points of view, not just my one dimensional. So I get what
Right.
Fourth Wall is saying. We are who we choose to be because we are in control of the decisions that we're making, right? Right.
Uh huh.
I am in control if I want to do drugs or if I want to read more, or I'm in control if I want to take care of my body, or I'm in control if I want to eat junk food and stuff like that. But I will
Hmm.
say somebody could argue, what about how were you conditioned growing up, right?
Mm,
Because you suggested, Will, that like, and you didn't suggest, this is actually facts. You don't choose the family that you're born into. So, what if there is negative patterns that you've learned as a child from your family that you've carried with you as an adult because
right.
you had nobody around you who could look at your blind spots and be like, this is not the way to do that.
Mm,
This is the wrong way. You've been thinking you're
mm,
doing it the right way, but this is
right.
indeed wrong. And it's not entirely your fault because you were conditioned by your family from that growing up. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So who
Mm,
are we who we choose to be? I do believe, when you become an adult, you are in control of the decisions that you're making, but I also think that some people still haven't seen their blind spots yet from stuff that they were conditioned as a child with and they took with them as an adult. Right? Maybe communication skills, eating habits, emotional intelligence,
hmm.
all different type of things like that.
Wow. No, that's a
Yeah.
great answer. Because what
We
pretty
can
much what you're saying is,
navigate through great challenges
um,
with direction to choose.
there's only so much that you're in control of when it comes to family,
Yeah.
um, because you didn't choose it.
Hmm.
When you say you are who you choose to be, you are who you choose to be eventually.
Yeah.
But early on, you don't have much of a choice because you don't know what you were born into. You don't know until you get old enough to look back and say, you know what, I realized, man, I went through some traumatic experiences. There's some things that really made me either harden, or there's some things that made me a great person, or there's some things that made me a hard worker. Those things, they just pretty much come about. You understand what I'm saying? Um, so let's look at what Miss White says right here.
Hmm.
She says we can choose to be who we want, but I agree with JT where your childhood will influence which direction you choose. I mean, she said it greatly
Amen,
right
Miss
there.
White. Yeah,
It'll
definitely.
definitely it'll definitely steer you a certain way, and then you have to kind of like reprogram. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Rewire. You know what I mean? Regroup. And I think that's why you know developing after once you get become of age, you have to start to mature and develop and grow. And that's why we're here. We're here to grow because
Mhm.
we have to talk about some of the things that people don't talk about in families. I realize over time, families just kind of go with the flow. We just get together for the holidays. We don't really talk about anything deep because we don't want to offend nobody. And I think that family should be number one when it comes to talking about trivial topics. Okay, I got another comment. I'll let you take this one. Jack,
All
JT.
right. Raphael says, I also agree that we are born into certain environments that influence our actions, behavior, and mentality, etc. But when we get older, we have the freedom to choose differently based on experience and etc. Yeah, Raphael, I agree with you. That's kind of like what Coach Will said. Growing up, you have all of these factors that kind of influence and contribute to your behavior, the way you think, the way you look at society, the lens that you look at society through. But as you get older, not only do you get to choose who you want to be and start making your own decisions, I also believe that that external family that Coach Will was talking about, that you get to choose, can also help you to see certain things that you didn't realize about yourself, if that makes sense. And that's why fellowship is important. That's why things like this is important for community because there is stuff that I might have learned growing up, etc., doing, knowing, and everything like that. And Raphael may see it and be like, hey, that's not the best way to go about this. But me thinking the whole time it was the right way to go about it because that's how I was conditioned. But because I have this
Right.
community of Grow Gang, then you have people like Fourth Wall, Raphael, all the different people in the chat who could be like, these are your blind spots that you're missing because you're conditioned one way, but this is just from a universal objective standpoint. So I think that's where
Right.
that external group comes in very well as well.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Totally agree. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. Thank you for that comment, Raphael.
Yeah. Definitely.
Before you get to your next question, we'll get one more comment here.
Hmm.
I understand what you're saying now. As an adult, you choose who you want. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. As an adult, fourth wall, you start to choose who you want. Now, this is the hard part, though, guys. I'm going to be honest because I want to have empathy for people that went through a lot as a child. You choose who you want to be as an adult, but you don't choose your starting point.
Mm.
Okay. You choose who you want to be as an adult, but you don't choose where you start. Because if you've been through a lot of trauma, you're going to start from that area sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're going to start from your environment. Where your environment left off with you, that's where you're going to start. So yes, you choose who you want to be, but it's a process. It's a process. It's healing. It's forgiveness. It's reconciliation. There's a whole lot. It's not black and white where, hey, you turn 18 and then you start choosing your life. It doesn't work like that. Some people have to work through whether it be therapy, whether it be coaching, whether it be physical fitness, whether it be spiritual intervention, whether it be ministry. Some people have to
Hmm.
work from different areas in their life due to trauma. And I don't want to be insensitive to say, hey, when I see somebody not who I think they should be, it's because they're choosing it. Sometimes they got dealt a bad hand and they need somebody like us, a community like us, to say, listen,
Hmm.
the dealer gave you a bad hand, no problem, throw it back in and tell them to reshuffle that thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then encourage that person, love that person to life. Why? Because you don't know what they've been through, and it's always good to refrain from assuming that everyone got dealt the same cards. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying?
Yeah.
It's more powerful to say, you know what, I don't know what you've been through, but you can make it.
That's
Now,
true.
if that person wants to choose not to answer or to receive that, it may just be seed planting at that point. They may
Yeah.
not have got to the point where they received it yet, but you plant that positive seed and tell them, hey, you can make it. It's up to them from that point on, you know. But I
No.
try not to assume that everyone's at the same level. They got dealt the same cards.
And I just wanted to add something to that great answer that Coach Will just said as well is I also want to be considerate of the people who are adults, right? Fourth wall, but maybe they still live with their parents, so they they um they still live with their parents, so sometimes their parents don't allow them to, you know, believe it or not, you want to be considerate of people like that, right? Who their parents don't
Hmm.
allow them to choose who they want or choose a different way of thinking or,
Sure,
choose something opposite. Everybody is not in a in that type of position. So you want to take people like that into consideration because, everybody doesn't have that opportunity to choose who they want as an adult, right? You got people, living with their parents until, they can get off their feet financially and everything like that. So
sure,
even with that being the case, sometimes it takes like you just kind of like being on your own, being able to take care of yourself to really get that clarity and that POV, if that makes sense.
got you. So you're saying they're limited until they get on their own because they're under their
Yeah,
parents' condition?
yeah, not everybody, but there is people that like that. Like in
Sure,
not to get too personal, in my case, is I had the opportunity to kind of think on my own, have a free mind and stuff like that. But a lot of people don't have that, right? And that hinders that kind of counter what the argument of when you become an adult, you choose who you want because it's like, okay, you became an adult, you're 18, or maybe you're 20, maybe you're 23, maybe you're 24, but you're still living under your parents' roof. You still are succumb to those traditions, that way of life, that way of thinking, everything like that.
sure. And I think that becomes a point of developing individuality. Like if you're in a situation that's not making you better, it's a wake up call for you to start to develop some individuality so that you can recreate an environment that's suitable and healthy for you. You
Hmm.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, let's see this comment real quick. Right, right, I agree. Raphael says, right, I agree. We should encourage someone who's dealing with trauma instead of belittling them since we don't know what that person is going through. That's right, Raphael. Sometimes you got to go in order to know. You can't just assume. Got to go
Yeah.
by. Don't give up on your dreams. Okay, TPP. We won't give up on our dreams. Get some rest, brother.
Yes, sir.
Some people don't want to leave the nest, though. Yeah, some people don't want to leave the nest. But fourth wall, if you don't want to leave the nest, then you can't be mad when the mama chicken is putting the sticks the way you don't like it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you don't want to leave the nest, then you got to follow the rules of the nest. You know what I'm saying? So that's just
Hmm.
it's just how it goes. You know what I mean? But yeah, so go ahead, my brother.
Yes, sir. No problem. I'm on to the next question, which is what characteristics do you think defined a strong family bond? And that could be the family you're born into or the external family. Like what characteristics, what does that look like? Outside of the three that you gave for the external, which was a love, respect, and gratitude, just let me know what you think about that.
What characteristics make up a
Define
strong family bond?
family. Yep.
First, I think it is unity with individuality.
Hmm.
And what I mean by that is we can have unity, but we don't need uniformity. So I
Amongst
tell you
it.
what that means, right?
Hmm.
If we can unify with love, respect for each other, right? But it doesn't mean we have to think 100% the same because you can have unity without uniformity,
Yeah.
right? We can be unified without being uniform. So I think maintaining individuality and being able to come together with unity, I think is very powerful for a family.
Hmm.
Um, Respect and love don't go anywhere because that's what's going to keep the family unified. Because I respect you, I love you. There's nothing you won't do for me or I won't do for you. If we have respect and
Exactly.
love for each other,
Hmm.
once the respect is out of the window, now I'm questioning what I'll do for you, and you're questioning what you'll do for me
That's just,
because the respect is not there.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You gotta families should be built on respect and love. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
respect and love, unity, while also not always needing to be uniform, right? You might like red, I like green. That's okay. But we have unity, right? So
Mm.
you understand what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
we can still
Okay.
be unified even though we're individuals.
Yeah, that
So
makes sense.
respect and love, unity. Miss White says support, which is 100%.
Yes.
It's support. Way too often, I see your number one, in my opinion, if you're doing any venture, if people love and care about you and they believe in what you're doing, they should be your number one fans if they say they're your family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
actually, I have a question about that.
Go ahead.
So, is there support assumed, or like is it automatic because you guys are family, or is that something like, right? Like how does that work? You chop that up for us in the chat. Like, is there support assumed because you're family? So, example, if I want to go to the NFL, right? I'm a relatively skinny guy, guys. I want to go to the NFL. Half of my
Hmm.
family supporting me, half of my family not supporting me just because they think it's dangerous, CTE, all that stuff, right? So is that other side of the family in the wrong because they don't support my dreams to go to the NFL? Like, what do you think about that? Like, is it automatic? How does that work? How does that?
Well, um, again, this is if they agree with what you're doing. So, for
Mm,
instance, if they think it's dangerous, they should, in their mind, say, "Okay, I think football is dangerous, but I'm gonna support his dream because it ain't my dream."
mm,
That's why we can have unity without uniformity.
mm-hmm,
I don't fully 100% agree. I wouldn't have my kid play the sport,
Yeah.
But if that's what JT likes, I support JT's dream because it ain't my dream, it's his.
Hmm.
Right? So you can
Yeah.
have unity without uniformity,
Okay. Got
right?
you. Got you.
So if you love that person, you support them because you love them. You don't
Yes.
support them because they're doing what you want them to do.
Yeah.
That's unity. Unity says, hey, you may not be doing what I would do, but I love you enough to support what you want to do.
Yeah.
And by the way, it got to be the right thing. I'm not saying you want to go rob a bank, and I'm like, hey, I got to support you. You're my family. No, it's definitely has to be doing something positive.
Positive.
You understand what I'm saying?
Makes sense.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stephanie White says, nah, they got to put in the work in also for support. That's right.
Uh,
That's right. Hold on, I want to take a moment right here. Our dear friend Janan says, hey, y'all, I'm watching and sorry if I couldn't type anything. I'm not in good physical health. Janan, we praying for you, Janan. We praying that you get better, Janan. We know your situation from Discord, and we're praying that you get better, and we support you.
yeah.
Man, I'm so happy to
Yeah.
see you again live. Hey, we happy to see you too, Janan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Definitely.
Okay, so did I answer your question?
Yeah. And then I just had one more question. This was like a segue of what you were answering too. Why do you think that uniformity is assumed in families?
Is why is uniformity assumed?
Yeah.
Because families are tribal.
Hmm.
So most families think that you should support them no matter what, even if it's good or bad, because families are tribal. The components of family are kind of like, wiped out. We don't think that there's any structure. We should just do it because we were born together. You know what I'm saying? We should
Yeah.
just do it because we were born together. We are mixing the animal kingdom with the human kingdom
Mm.
because animals they just rock together because they were born together. You know what I'm saying? Hey, because they're programmed to do something. If I'm a
Yeah.
lion, I'm born with the lions that are born with me. We hunt. We well, the women hunt. The males sleep. Uh, you know what I mean? There's certain structure to the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
They're tribal. Lions are tribal. So humans are starting to adapt or adopt animalistic thinking because we think because we're born together, that's all that matters. When there needs to be love, there needs to be respect, and there needs to be support to make a family.
That's
And it
true.
needs to be consistent. It needs to be consistent. If you want that unity, it needs to be consistent. I
Yes.
was in your last like, what's up, Elisha? How you doing, Elisha? We see you. How you feeling? Welcome back, Elisha. Let me know if you guys want to. Anybody wants to come up and talk, you can. The link is in the description. So yeah, I think we're starting to, realize or starting not to realize rather that it's like maintenance. Families are like maintenance on a car. If
Hmm.
you don't maintain it, certain things start breaking apart. If you're not maintaining each other, if you're not loving on each other, praying for
That's
each
true.
other, really, really love. Like what's crazy? You know what's crazy? There are AI panda bears. They're called companion bears, and basically you kind of have the companion bear, and the companion bear it makes you feel good. It talks to you and all that other stuff, right? Very weird, right? There's AI companion tools because loving each other is a superpower nowadays.
Mm.
Caring about somebody is a superpower today. So we need these AI companions because people don't care about each other enough to think about something outside of themselves when it
Yeah.
comes to family and community.
That is
This
true.
is why
It's tough.
AI is becoming so popular because you don't need a friend. All you need is Chat GPT. You don't need, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you're right.
Because Chat GPT, he's no real maintenance. You know what I mean?
Uh-uh.
You just respond to it the way you want to, and you don't even got to respond, and he not gonna feel no type of way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the maintenance of a family is just as important as the construction of a family.
Mm-hmm. That's very good.
You know what I'm saying?
Maintenance of the family.
Is more
Mhm.
than just the construction of a family. Because anybody can make a family, anybody can make babies, y'all.
Yeah.
But how can are you going to maintain that family?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Are you going to maintain that family? So I hope I answered
No,
your question.
no, you definitely did. Let's look at some of these comments though. We got Fourth Wall who said trust, love, respect, unity, and sternness. The reason I say sternness is if you are doing something dumb, someone should hold you accountable. Exactly,
I
fourth
love
wall.
that.
So I would actually switch the word sternness with just accountable, with just straight up accountable instead of sternness, because that was perfect. I think that if you love someone and you see them doing something that could affect them negatively, especially that is a part of your network, you want to let them know, of course, in a loving way, this is wrong, this is not the way, this may be a misdirection. And
Hmm.
as a family member, as a brother, as an uncle, as a cousin, as a father, as a grandfather, I want to redirect you back on the track. I want to redirect you because I can see where this is heading and it's not heading in the right direction, and I want to see you prevail and win. So accountability is true. That is very
I love
true.
that.
That is very true. Um, I'm a
I
fan of
love that.
accountability. I think sometimes people take accountability the wrong way. You can love someone and disagree with them. That is a fact. Chat,
Yes,
that is a fact.
that is a
Chat,
fact.
that is a fact.
That is a
You can
fact.
love someone and disagree with them.
Yes,
I can love
yes,
you to
and that
death. We just
mhm.
disagree.
And that is
Mhm.
unity without uniformity.
Yep.
We can love each other, disagree, and still. And you know what's crazy? You can love somebody, disagree, and passionately hash it out on why we disagree with each other
Yes.
to see if we can find agreement.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I
But
hear you.
that takes humility, that takes love, that takes things that people don't really want to sacrifice, which is themselves.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm sure.
yes. No, but I love that. Let's look at this comment right here from Mrs. White. It says core definition: families are fundamentally built on relationships, whether biological or legal.
Miss White, I love that definition. That is my personal definition of a family because it's about the relationship that matters. To me, it's not. This is my personal opinion, chat. It's not the label or the DNA or none of that. It's about what does our relationship look like, right? Like you said, Coach, love, respect, and gratitude, right? The
Yes.
support of one another, right? I have friends that I've known for 5 years, 6 years who I am much more close to. We have a closer bond, we have a closer network than people that are in my bloodline, right? Right?
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Josh, shout out to Chris, shout out to Jada, Janelle, Anika, Jamal, Jarissa, all those different type of people that we've grown together, we've learned together, and we have a strong bond with one another. That's greater than that of which a bond of some people that I have blood with.
Right.
So that was
Right.
a great search, Miss White, on the Google definition of families. It's definitely about the relationship. The relationship.
Right.
Because if you put the label before the relationship, then you end up being in a strenuous relationship because we're just holding on because we're brothers, right? And
Right.
and we don't
Right.
we don't want to talk about it because we don't have to, because at the end of the day we're brothers. We're gonna die brothers, right?
Right.
Or we're mom and son, or you're father and daughter, or you are uncle and nephew, or auntie and niece. So because of that label, we don't have to talk it out. We don't have to forgive one another. We don't have to try and work it out because guess what? We're gonna argue about it today and be angry at each other today, but guess what? Tomorrow we have to see each other. right? So
Mm,
it's that accessibility that people take advantage of sometimes when it comes to the label on the relationship and stuff like that. But,
I agree with that. I agree with
hmm
that. 100%. Well said. Well said. Let's read this comment right here. Raphael says, right, and that's the sad thing. Lots of people are looking for love, companionship, etc., and their families aren't giving them that, so they turn to AI to try to fit that hole. That's right. This is why AI is so easy to fit the hole, because loving one another has become a superpower. Loving one another has become a superpower, and the nuclear family has become an afterthought.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? So when you
yeah,
have that, it's easy to usher in something that's artificial. Think about it. It's artificial intelligence
yeah,
by name. So it's easy to manufacture artificial family, because if you're not feeling the love and support of a real one, then it's easy to usher in things that are counterfeit or try to take the place. You understand what I'm saying?
mm.
People treat accountability. Okay, you can take that comment. Comments are coming in. We'll bring that one up.
People treat accountability like a bad omen. Yeah, because accountability makes people feel uncomfortable. And by default, as humans, we love comfortability, right? If I have a thought in my head, and which is a great comment, fourth wall, if I have a thought in my head or a certain way of doing something or a certain way of feeling about something, you try to tell me that this is wrong, I'm going to be like, because now it causes me to think differently. It causes me to sacrifice pride, which humans have a hard time letting go of. It causes me to take a step back and reflect and say, okay, I'm in the wrong and I need to redirect. I wasn't right. So that is true. Accountability does
Humility?
definitely, yeah, exactly. Accountability, they definitely treat it like a bad omen universally. Doesn't matter how old you
Yes.
are, what ethnic group you come from, all ethnic groups, everywhere around the world, nationalities, all of them. It's just a human thing. It's just it's a human thing. If pride is at the
Gotcha.
center, if we have pride in our heart, it's hard to take accountability.
Yes. Pride is the opposite of community, because
Yeah,
pride tells you everything's about you.
yeah,
You know,
for
so
sure.
very, very good stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
these are the things that you have to talk about in order to get to the bottom of how to have a fully healthy, functioning family, or how
hmm
to correct a family that may be a little shaky.
Mm,
Because you got to be real. You
yeah,
understand what I'm saying? You got to be real about what's being said. You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
You got to be real about what's being said. Is somebody
for
coming
sure.
up? Let me see here. I think somebody's trying to come up. Let me see.
No problem.
Okay, it says Wefs. Are you in, or let us know if you're in, but you're on mute if you're in. Maybe they're on in on accident. Let's see.
Oh snap! I don't think I'm supposed to be here. What? Sorry, yo. What
Okay.
happened?
All right. No problem. We got it.
Yeah.
All right. So moving right along, brother.
hmm
By the way, if anybody wants to come on and have these conversations with us, you can. You can just hit the link in the description. You can hit the link in Discord, or you can hit the. You can take this comment out. I'll put it in the comments right here. You could paste it in your uh, URL, and you can come up that way as well. But anyway, back to your question, bro.
Bam, bam, bam. Oh, uh, what's up, chat? I think Will got
My bad.
disconnected. Oh, there
My
you
bad, bro. My
go.
bad. My bad. All
There
right, we
you go.
back. So go ahead, bro.
Alrighty.
You
So my next question was going to be, how do families evolve as time passes or circumstances change? Like, what is the evolution of a family like, right? People grow in age, people move to different areas, new additions to the family are created.
hmm
Um, Sometimes, depending on where your family is at, there's also family members being subtracted. So, how, what does the evolution of the family look like over time, over a lifetime?
What does the evolution of the family look like? Is that what it should look like? Because that is very subjective. It could be, it's different for everybody. So,
Well, how do
more
families
specifically,
evolve? Like, how do families evolve, right? How do they adapt as time passes and circumstances change?
so I think that as you, I think I understand your question.
Okay.
As you grow, as there's additions and subtractions to family, I think you adapt because you have that love and respect.
Mm,
I think love, I think love I think love will bring you together. Respect will keep you together.
mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Love will bind you together. Respect will keep you together.
Hmm.
So it's just being mindful. If the person just had a new addition, you're mindful. You're not, oh my goodness, they haven't called me. No, I mean, he can't call nobody. He got a new baby.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? So it's how do we evolve? We evolve by remembering to love and respect each other,
Yeah,
regardless of what's going on.
that makes
Because
sense.
as we evolve, as we add and subtract, I think we still have to keep our core values at the
Hmm.
center. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
If you still want love from your family, make sure you're giving some away.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
If you
sir.
still want respect, if you still want unity, make sure that you're making it important.
Hmm.
As we add and subtract, it may not be in the same capacity. You might have been a single guy up until you were 25, so
Yeah,
you may not be as accessible as you were before. But if you want to still have unity, don't hide yourself with this new addition and act like the rest of your family don't exist.
yeah.
If you have a relationship of love and support.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because way too often, people will, when it comes to family, they'll get into a new relationship and they'll forget about the relationship that got them to that point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If somebody's
Yes, sir.
loving and supporting you all the way up until the time you find your spouse, don't just ditch that person when you get a spouse.
Yeah,
Bring that person along. Yeah,
yeah,
bring that person along. That way, you still have the love and support. Because what you know what's going to happen? You're going to need to draw back on some of that inspiration when you and your spouse fall out.
yeah,
You're going to need that support still. So don't get lost. Don't get brand new.
yeah.
Keep the same love and respect that you had. Keep that going. Maintain the
Exactly.
relationship, just like a car. Maintain. Do the maintenance on the car. Don't just say, "Oh my goodness, I see a bus ride," and then forget about the maintenance on the car.
Yeah, that's true.
Buses break down too.
That is facts. That is facts.
So
All
that
right,
would
let
be
me
my
see.
answer.
Yeah, and that was you answered my question perfectly, man. Let's see what the chat is saying. Let's see what the chat is saying.
Here's one right here.
Hmm. I think people mature or should mature. Sometimes when kids grow, they're able to relate to more things as your parents. Oh yeah, Miss White, that is true. That is true, right? Because when you're a child, you see stuff through a child lens. When you're a teenager, you see stuff through teenage lens. But as you grow and become an adult, you're like, okay. And you look at it in retrospect, you're like, okay, my parents were not tripping. This is actually wild behavior, right? Or
Right,
this is not the greatest idea. And
right,
so that is true. You grow, you start to grow, and you look back and be like, oh, my mom wasn't tripping. Like I shouldn't have done that. I
right,
shouldn't have done that or did something. So yeah, that is
right,
true. The maturation part is
right.
definitely real. It's really surreal, bro. It's like
Yes,
you go from rebelling to being like, wow, like
yeah, yeah. This is why. This is why
yeah,
that was said
exactly.
for sure. We got a question here. We got a question here. I'll let you tackle it since I've been answering most of the questions in
Mhm.
terms of the show. I'll let you answer that one, bro.
Question. Oh, for fourth wall from fourth wall. Question: how do you feel about
Yes, sir.
family who believes trauma will make you learn faster? So I'm gonna give my personal opinion on this question. Um, First, let me give my personal opinion, and then I'm gonna try to play advocate, but it's gonna be really hard with something like this. Um, um, I don't believe that trauma makes you learn faster. I could see if someone was saying, um, experiences can teach you something that verbal conversations or raising someone or in school you don't learn. Um,
Mhm.
but the same who believes trauma will make you learn faster. Um, I just think that is not a good way of thinking or a good way of trying to raise a family or children. Um, because trauma lasts a long time, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and for some people who never can get the help, it can do irreversible damage. Um, so something that happened to somebody where they're 5, when they're 8, when they're 11, 15, can stay with them all the way to their 46, right? And they're having troubles in external relationships, maybe romantically or platonically, and they can't figure out why can't they, connect. And it's because of the trauma that they faced, as a child. And typically when trauma is not dealt with, it produces bad fruit, right? Trauma is kind of
yes,
like a bad seed, or it's like weeds. And when it's not tamed, it could choke out the tree, it could kill the plant. So for families who believe trauma helps you learn faster, it is a very it can be a very have very negative effects to think like that, especially with children who are very impressionable. Um, and they tend to learn very quickly and soak up a lot of things very young. And I don't know if that is the type of impression you want to leave on your child, especially if they can't get the help to heal. And honestly, intentionally putting someone in positions of trauma is like intentionally setting them back on purpose, right? It's like intentionally, I'm gonna set my child back on purpose to where now they have to heal when instead of having to heal, they could just grow, right? Just
hmm
grow. You get
right.
what I'm saying? So if I had to play advocate on why would somebody ask, like, why would a family do that? I could just see them saying, well, for example, if you tell okay, if you like, I can see if a parent was to say something like, "Okay, I told little Johnny stop playing by the oven. I mean, stop playing by the stove. Get away from the stove, little Johnny. You told him Tuesday. Get away from the stove Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Little Johnny's like 11-year-old. He keeps, when you're in the kitchen, when you're in the kitchen cooking, he's just playing around. So I can see if on that Saturday, instead of the mom saying, get away from the stove, little Johnny, right? She just let it play out, and little Johnny end up touching the stove. So now little Johnny's like, "Oh my," and he starts crying and stuff. And the mom is like, "This is why I didn't want you to play by the stove because it will burn you." So that's the only way I
Right,
can see. But that's more so again, that's an experience where the parent
right.
was trying to
That's
redirect.
learning.
Yeah,
That's learning.
exactly.
That's not trauma.
Yeah, yeah. Trauma is like,
Right.
mm,
Yeah, trauma
yeah.
is I'm not sure if fourth wall meant trauma or he meant struggle. We
Okay,
would
yeah,
have to find out.
yeah.
But
That's a
there's a
good point.
difference
Yeah,
between struggles making you better and trauma making you better. I think that
yeah,
that's very, very different. You know, the definition has to be defined, right?
yeah,
Because trauma and struggle, there's a big difference between a traumatic experience and just a struggle. He says, I meant trauma. Yeah, so if you meant trauma, I think JT is saying he does not agree that trauma can make you better.
yeah.
Meaning, by the way, meaning. I'm not saying that beautiful things can't come out of traumatic experiences
Yeah,
because we see that. We see beautiful things come
every
out of
day.
traumatic experiences.
Yeah.
But intentional traumatic experiences to bring out beauty is foolishness. Yeah, I mean, there's nowhere around it. It's foolishness. There's nowhere around it. Yeah, somebody's like, oh, I'm intentionally being traumatic so that you can so that you can grow. I mean, that's silly.
Yeah.
That's not healthy at all. I had friends that said that their families believe that. Yeah, well, tell your friends you're praying for them because that is
Yeah.
crazy.
Because there are some, I will say to Fourth Wall's point, there are some cultures around the world who do have that kind of take on raising children. And even sometimes I see it in a sexist standpoint where they'll have their son, intentionally go through traumatic things to make him a stronger man or to build him up, to build the men up in their family and stuff like that. So I can see like the cultural side of things
Yeah,
when it comes to that. But it's still not healthy, regardless if it's a cultural tradition or not. Like I don't.
yeah, yeah. Listen, culture, tradition, what have you. If a person is saying that trauma is going to make you better, I think that person needs to see a doctor. I really do. I mean, I think they do. I think their mental health is skewed, and I think that they need to see a health professional. All
Yeah,
right, we got this comment right here.
perfect. You can read that, coach.
All right, it says this is Raphael. Mr. Diaz says, right. I don't think trauma can make you learn something faster, but rather it makes it harder for a person to learn, be able to grow in several areas, etc. It hinders progress. That is 100% correct. It
Yeah.
definitely hinders trauma sets you back. I mean, make no mistake
Yeah.
about it. It sets you
Ex-
back. Even
Yeah.
if you become a better person, become of it, it is setting you back.
Yes, bro.
But this is the beauty about it. Trauma, you don't always choose it. And I've seen beautiful things blossom out of trauma. So if you've went through traumatic experiences, my thing for you is you don't have to stay there. There's life and there's light at the end of the tunnel. Just keep going and keep growing. If you're somebody who is experiencing trauma right now, realize that growth is still possible, even in traumatic experiences. If you don't believe me, ask people serving life sentences that have said, you know what, I'm going to become the best version of myself, even in this circumstance. You know what I mean? So
Wow. Yeah.
that's my take on that.
Let,
You know what I
let's
mean?
see who got.
Always
Mm,
hope. That's right. There's always hope.
And then we
You
got a
got to hold
comment
on.
from we got a comment from Miss White who said, "Agreed, JT. You're not going to learn faster. It just impacting them to be scared, right? Kind of like
Mm,
what you were saying, Coach. Well, it's like it kind of like Miss White is right with Mr. Diaz. Like it impacts your growth. Like now you're
mm,
scared to grow. You scared to
mm.
do certain stuff. Fear becomes like your go-to, your shrine because of what has happened, you know, because of it. So like you said, it sets you back when and it take and that setback takes time and then the healing process takes time, right? So
Right,
even with the beautiful stuff that blossoms for it, imagine if that space that time was used for something else because of how valuable time is, right?
right.
So so valuable. So yeah.
Agreed. 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 Good stuff, Mrs. White.
Yeah.
Good stuff, Raphael, Jatanai. We got another comment. Look, they firing them out today, y'all. The comments are firing,
I think I got
but
this
good
right.
comments though. This is good conversation.
Yeah.
Good conversation. Like JT said, in some cultures, race is just that thing. Hold on. In some cultures, rape is just a thing that happens.
Hmm.
Marrying a child off to a grown man doesn't make it right or help that person in any way. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Because it's culture, it doesn't mean it's helpful, guys.
No.
Some culture, we have to define family or redefine family all over again. That way, we can find out if culture is making sense in regards to family.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because listen, I don't care what culture you're in. If it's unhealthy for family growth, get rid of it. Get rid of it.
Mm,
You know what I mean? And that's real rap.
that's true.
So go ahead, JT. I'm
That's
here.
true. No problem. No problem. So, how are disagreements or challenges generally? How should disagreements or challenges generally be handled within families? And the reason I said how is because disagreements and challenges are inevitable. I don't care who you are. I don't care
right?
how rich your family is, how poor your family is, how happy your family is, how much your family goes to church. Disagreements or challenges in a family is inevitable. So how should that be handled within families?
It should be handled with humility, realizing that it's not about me being right or you being right. It's about us getting it right.
Hmm.
And just like Miss White just said, disagreements are healthy. How
Hmm.
do you get to the bottom of a thing, or how do you find out somebody, or how somebody is passionate about a thing if we're not passionately agreeing to disagree?
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, uh, when it comes to disagreeing, you have to approach it with the fact that we're on the same team. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
we're on the same team. You see, this is why love and respect are so important, because if you love and respect me, I know we're on the same team. So when we disagree, I'm not offended. I feel like this is a great opportunity for growth.
Yeah.
But if I'm offended or you're offended, it's because I don't believe we're on the same team.
Mm.
It can't be both.
Yeah.
It can't be I believe we're on the same team and I'm offended. Because if we're on the same team, you're not trying to offend me. You're
Yeah.
trying to grow with me. We're trying to grow together.
Exactly.
So I think that it goes back to the love and respect, keeping that the foundation, never getting too comfortable. If you're a person that I respect and I love, I don't ever want to get too comfortable to the point where you feel like I'm taking you for granted.
Yeah.
Okay. So we set that foundation beforehand, right? The
Hmm.
good book says, in a time of peace, we prepare for war. In a time of war, we prepare for peace. What does that mean with the family? While there's not a disagreement, we
Hmm.
should be soaking in that foundation of love and respect. We should be
Oh,
building that foundation, right?
that makes
And when
sense.
that
Yes.
foundation's intact, now when there's a disagreement, we can present that disagreement on the foundation that we already built while we were in agreement.
Mm.
That'll preach, right?
That's
We
word.
should be soaking in that foundation of love and
Foundation.
respect during the time where we're in agreement. That way, when we disagree, we can stay on that foundation because it's firm.
Exactly. I get what you're saying. That makes
The
sense.
reason the reason why families fall out is not because they disagree. It's because while things were good, they didn't keep working on the foundation because they thought everything was good.
Yeah.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Because we
they didn't
family.
maintenance the foundation. Yeah, we family. That's it.
Yeah.
Right. They didn't make the maintenance on the foundation important
Yeah.
because we family. We the same blood, right?
That is true.
So that's my take on disagreement. Continue to be on the same team. And when we disagree, because we've already been working on the love and respect aspect,
Mm.
when we
Yeah.
disagree, we just realize that we're on the same team. And I thought you should have took a jump shot right there instead of drove to the hoop because you was wide open.
Yeah.
Because we're on the same team.
Exactly.
So you're like, you know what, bro? You're right, man. I could have just pulled up, excuse me, rather than going in with all that traffic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I could have just pulled up right there.
Because I know you have the best interest for me at heart. Because we on the
Hello.
same. Yeah.
There you go. I know you have my best interests at heart. I used to have to explain this to my wife sometimes because my wife, she grew up in situations where she had some traumatic experiences.
Hmm.
And there would be times where I would say, hey, XYZ, hey, babe, try this, or hey, try this. And she would put her guard up. And I had to explain to her over and over and over again that we're on the same team. So if I'm telling you something, it's not, I'm telling it because we rocking together. Like you're my teammate. I'm not
Yeah.
telling you because I'm on another team.
Yeah.
I'm telling you because we're on the same team. And um, if you growing, I'm growing too. And vice versa. We need to do it together. But what I realize is when it comes to trauma, and we're going to get to some of these comments in a second, when it
Hmm.
comes to trauma, it takes a while before trauma can see the difference in the offender.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? It's almost like
Yeah.
when you get a pet from the rescue. If the pet from the rescue is used to being beat and used to
Hmm.
having trauma, you can raise your hand to give him a treat, and he gonna flinch like you trying to beat him.
Yep.
Why? Because that trauma is baked into the pet.
Hmm.
So what did I have to do? I had to reassure and reaffirm my wife that not only are we on the same team, but I want the best for you, and anything that I'm telling you is to better us as a family. And it
Mm.
took for her to start believing that in order to say, okay, when he's talking, it's not somebody who affected me talking.
Yeah.
It's not somebody who offended me talking. It's not
Yeah.
somebody who caused the trauma talking. This
Yeah.
is somebody who's literally on my team.
Yeah.
And then what
Yeah.
happens is you start loving people out of purpose, not out of pain.
Exactly. That's talk. Talk about it, coach. Talk about it.
As real rap, ain't it?
No, that's real.
That's real rap.
So let's get to some of these
Uh,
comments.
I'll
Start
start
with
right here. My bad.
exactly, yeah.
You want to start there? Okay.
Are
Are
you
you
trying to
trying to
understand? Oh, are
go
you
ahead?
trying to
Go
understand
ahead.
the situation or just want to prove a point? Which is a perfect
Yes.
question, Miss White. And I know you weren't asking that question to us. You were asking in rhetoric of, when there's disagreements, are you trying to understand the situation or are you
Right.
looking to just prove a point? Because people who are trying to understand the situation, they have both ears open, right? And they are quick to listen and slow to speak. But people who
Hello.
just want to prove a point, right? They only have one ear open, right? And they
Yes.
are quick to speak and slow to listen. And those are the type of
Yes.
people who they have an answer. They're answering. My mom says this a lot. They're answering to respond, not answering to understand, right?
Correct.
And do you know where that stems from? And we said this word multiple times on live today. Pride. Pride.
Hello.
It's
Hello.
pride.
So would you suggest that pride cannot be a part of the pillars when it comes to building a strong family foundation?
It cannot. Because if pride becomes a part of the pillars of family, you have a lump sum of individuality, but no unity.
Hello.
We're a
Which is
family with
not family.
everybody, yeah, with everybody doing their own thing.
Boy.
So we're a network that's just not connected. We're just dots, but they're not connected. No consolation.
And
Yeah.
guess what? You have a whole bunch of people running around scattered
Yep.
with no direction and no growth,
No support. Yeah.
no support,
Nope.
which is not family, correct?
No, it's not.
All right, take that comment right there, man. We rocking
Listen,
and rolling,
listen.
man. We
Right. I
rocking.
feel like a lot of times people treat disagreements from the point of view that they're not on the same team as the other person. We need to have the mentality that we're on the same page. And that, Raphael, you said that perfectly. And that's what Coach was trying to explain, where if we have a disagreement, but our relationship is already built on the foundation of love and respect. When coach is coaching me on something like, hey JT, maybe you should add this to your diet because too much sodium is not helping or too much sugar is not helping, right? I have two options, right? I could say, well, why is coach watching my diet? He trying to say I'm fat. He trying to say I could say, you know what? Coach is into nutrition and he has my best interest at heart. And because our relationship is already built on love and respect, I know that it's coming from a place of he wants to help me be healthy. He wants to help me be healthy. So you said that perfectly, Raphael. And like Coach was saying, we have to soak and maintain the relationships before the disagreement happens, so that when somebody says something to us, we already know it's coming from the best interest, right? Because if you have to question where the intent is coming from, it's because our relationship is not maintained.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
That is correct.
That is beautiful.
Agree with Coach. Absolutely. Thank you for that.
Hmm.
Thank you for that. Listen, this is what we talking about right here. Fourth wall says life isn't about what you want to hear, and you want grow always being in the comfort zone, and you
I
won't
think he said
grow
you
always
won't.
be,
Yeah.
you won't grow always being in the comfort zone. We need to let AI on you, fourth wall. We need to let AI autocorrect, brother. I'm just playing with you. But yeah, life isn't always about what you want, especially if it's a team. If it's a team, and you won't grow in
Yeah.
the comfort zone at all. The
No.
comfort zone is comfortable, but nothing grows there, guys.
Nope. No
Nothing grows there.
fertility. Nah,
No
bro.
fertility. Uh, Raphael, you want to take that one?
Yeah. So Raphael says, right, family is supposed to have each other's best interests at heart and subtle disagreements that way. That shows understanding, love, compassion, and etc. It brings encouragement, which
Hmm.
is true. But that is also suggesting, right, that all family have each other's best interests at heart, right?
Right,
So
and we know that
I
ain't true.
think exactly. I think also too, and this is my take, now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it could be a conversation for anybody that's watching this, listening to this, hearing this. Maybe that's a question that you could ask, and it may offend some family members, but I think it's better to have clarity about it than to just assume it. Like, hey, bro, like if you have a brother, a sister, a cousin, a uncle, a aunt, grandma, grandpa, even your parents, like even let me do it. Let me do an ex of parents first, and then let me do it the other family. So all the other family members that are not your parents. Hey, do you have my best interest at heart? Like, I just wanted to know. Like, I know that we're brother, I know that we're sister, I know that we're cousin, but I just want to know, did you have my best interests at heart by any chance? And let that be a conversation so we can
They
get some
might
clarity.
malfunction.
So we can
They
exactly, so
might
we can
they
get some
might pass
clarity.
out.
Exactly. So we can get some clarity on it, outside of it just being assumed. Now, for your parents, it can be the same thing. Hey, do you have my best interest at heart outside of taking care of the physical, right? You gave me clothes, you paid for my food, you got me through school, you made sure I had AC, you made sure I had water, and I'm very undoubtedly grateful to you. But outside of that, do you have my best interest at heart? Like, just let it be a conversation. And that
Right,
will even go to show you, right? Right? How do your parents feel about the situation? How do your family members feel about the situation? And I'm not setting you up to start a huge disagreement in your house, but I'm setting you up to start a conversation, right?
right.
As family, we have to start communicating, bro. It
Yes,
like
yes.
we everything
Even if
can't
it's
be
tough,
assumed.
even if it's
Yeah,
tough,
even
even
if
if
it's
it's
tough,
tough.
everything can't be assumed. We just can't go around assuming. Like, if you think about it, in my opinion, assuming stuff is so exhausting because when you assume, it's 50-50, right? But with communication with your family, the people who share the best interest, there's clarity. You don't have to think about it. You know because we had the conversation. But when you have to assume, it is so emotionally and mentally exhausting on you as a person because you're walking around as a family, whether that be in your house or maybe people that live afar from you, that I have to assume these people have the best interest in me. And you know what you're doing? You're with your family and now you're walking on eggshells because I don't know what I can bring up and what I can't bring up because now we have this this space where people don't want to communicate and have conversations because it's like I don't want to offend this person. I don't want to offend that person. I don't communicating. Throw away assumptions, chat. All 2025,
Listen,
bro. Throw away assumptions, bro. Communicate.
you're right. And the reason why you can't communicate is because you're not keeping the love and respect
Respect.
as the nucleus of the relationship.
Yeah.
Communication is killed when you don't feel that there's love and respect there. I've
Yeah.
seen it. I ain't telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know. I've seen
Yeah.
it. It happens all the time. If I don't feel you can even speak for yourself. If you don't feel
Yeah.
like somebody respects you or cares about you, you don't want to talk to them.
No.
You don't want to talk to them because what do you
Uh,
don't feel like you're going to get anything positive out of the conversation.
Yeah. Exactly.
So there you go. If we keep love and respect at the center of all things, you can't go wrong. How can you
Yeah.
go wrong?
That's true.
You can't. Right. It's better to have clarity than just assume. I agree 100%, JT.
Yeah. I
You know what I'm saying?
agree.
So the love and respect is supposed to be the nucleus. Miss White says that's what parents are supposed to do. That's right.
Yeah.
Be able to ask questions, you guys. And when you become a parent, allow your kids to be able to ask you questions.
Yes.
Don't become this dictator to the point where they can't ask you questions. Because guess what? If you don't answer the questions, they're gonna go somewhere else and get the answers. And
And
what
they're
you
gonna
don't
get
want,
it.
they gonna get that crazy zaboomafoo, and you're gonna be mad that they got it, and then you're gonna be like, "Oh my goodness, why did you pick this up?" And they gonna say, "Mama, Daddy, because you weren't listening. I was talking to you, I was crying out for help, but you didn't want to hear me because you you already had this perception of how I should answer or how I should feel,
And yeah,
rather than saying, okay, let me see how he really feels or how she really feels."
exactly.
You know what I mean? So I think that is very, very important. Miss White says yes, and to be honest, most people don't know how to have a conversation, a simple dialogue. You're right about that. Oh my goodness,
Mm.
you guys are going from family to individuality.
And and to piggyback off Miss White, and that's something that can be passed down from generation to generation. Just bad communication. Like that's actually a behavior that can be taught, and if not dealt with, when you have children, you treat your children the same way. No communication, and they do the same thing. No communication.
Yes,
Now you have this rampant lineage of just no communication because we
nobody
don't know how to
talking,
talk. No,
nobody talking. Everybody just
yeah,
moving and nobody talking.
yeah,
And guess what? You know what you have at that point? You guessed it. You have a bunch of people in a room, yet you still feel alone.
yep,
What you have is a scattered family, which is not a family at all. It's just folk that was born into each
yeah,
other,
yeah,
and that's the problem. That is an issue. It's an issue when you have a whole bunch of people around you, yet you still feel alone. And
exactly.
and also as a disclaimer, none of what I am saying or none of what JT is saying is taking away from personal responsibility. So I don't want anyone to hear any of what I'm saying and think that this means that we don't have to still be accountable as people, even to
Hmm.
ourselves. You know what I mean? So I'm not telling anybody, hey, you've been through traumatic experiences. I understand. Stay there. I'm saying, listen, use your trauma as a footstool to get to your next level.
Yeah,
Okay? Because your trauma, it didn't kill you. It came and it became a footstool. And now you can step on it and elevate to your next level.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yep.
But you got the floor, JT. Go ahead.
No, no, perfect. I appreciate the comments and Coach following through. Um, so I got a bonus question for you, and this one's a pretty good one because it's going to give you a chance to answer this to give the chat some advice. You know what I'm saying? Or something. So this is a bonus question. It's
Okay.
one of my last ones. Is what advice would you give to those seeking to build stronger family relationships? What advice would you
What
give them?
advice would you give to build strong family relationship? What advice would
Yep.
I give?
Yep.
Okay, Raphael, take it easy, buddy. Thank you, man. Thank you for coming
Y-
through, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Raphael. Appreciate you, my guy.
To build strong relationships, I would say it takes for us to be honest with each other. It takes for us to be honest with each other.
Hmm.
Honesty. Being honest with one another, it uncovers that which is hidden so that we can continue to grow.
Okay. Okay.
You know what I'm
Give me
saying?
some more. Yeah,
So
let me get some more.
so basically it goes back to the communication thing. If I feel some type of way, I should be able to be honest with you so that how I'm feeling, I don't have to bottle it in where it becomes resentment. We can talk about it, we can
Hmm.
hash it out, and we can continue to move forward.
Yeah.
I think whenever I think whenever you don't have honesty, whenever
Hmm.
you don't have good communication, I think the result of that is resentment, and it leaves a barrier between a healthy, it's like a gap. It
Yeah.
creates a gap and a barrier from where you are now in your relationship to where you could be in the relationship.
Okay. That makes
So
sense.
being honest, I always say be it's so simple because see, people like to go to the extremes when a lot of this it's not simple to do, but the answer is still simple. You understand what I'm saying? The
Yeah.
answer is still simple, even though it's not simple to do. We
Hmm.
would rather avoid tough conversations
Yeah.
so that we can preserve ourselves, preserve how we feel, preserve our thinking, because we don't want it to be challenged.
Yeah.
But the reality is, what we protect can still come back and bite us later.
Hmm.
So be honest, have honest conversations in love, because when you do that, guess what? You don't leave any room for the devil to get a foothold.
Yeah.
If you're not talking and you're not being honest with each other, you know what you're doing? You're gonna build resentment later
Mm.
because because all the stuff that you wanted to say, you held it in and you didn't say nothing. So now all
Hmm.
that stuff is logged into your subconscious, is just sitting there. Guess what? And you're like, oh no, no big deal. It's back there. No, it's in there and it's biting at you because you want to say stuff, but you ain't saying it. So what
Exactly.
happens is now you mad at that person.
Hmm.
Now you have resentment for that person because you couldn't be honest with that person.
Nope.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
true. Yeah.
So that's what I would say. I would say start being honest with your family members. By the way, the disclaimer: work on your delivery with your honesty. So work on your
For sure.
delivery. Because you're being honest, it doesn't mean it's a free for all to insult people.
Yeah. I agree.
Honesty
That's big.
means I just want to express how I feel. Um, and guess what? Honesty with others starts with honesty with yourself. Are you going to
That's
be
true.
honest with yourself? Because not all your feelings are valid, y'all. Some people's feelings are because of what they went through.
Hmm. Hmm.
Some of their feelings is because uh, Ray didn't text them back yet. They
Yeah.
still on red.
For
You know what
sure.
I'm saying? He
Hmm.
read the comment, but he ain't answer. So you mad.
Nah.
So your
Exactly.
feelings, those feelings are not valid. Those feelings are
Yeah.
just those is your feelings. But when
Yeah.
it comes to family, being honest about how things make you feel and being honest with yourself about where
Hmm.
those feelings come from, I think that that is a very important component. If you can do those two things, I think you'll keep everything leveled and you'll
Yeah.
keep the foundation of love and respect forever going.
Bang. That was a wholesome answer right there, coach. That was a very
Thank you.
wholesome answer.
Thank you.
I
Thank you.
love
I'm
that,
glad.
man. That was great.
That was awesome. Look, man, I think that we are starting something that will eventually become uh, something that people actually need. They're going to start implementing it into their life. I believe people are
Yeah.
going to be hearing stuff like this and say, you know what, I need to implement these things because this can help me.
Yeah.
So
Nah, man.
fantastic, bro. Fantastic, bro.
That
Fantastic, man.
sounds good. Yes, sir.
That was the bonus question. So I'm
Yeah.
guessing at this point we're out of questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Well, listen, this was fun, man. Did you want
Yeah.
to say anything to the chat? Did you want to address anything?
I mean, I just want to say first off, just thank you for the opportunity to ask those questions because I think those are some good questions, not only for myself, but I was trying to make them very generalized so the chat as well could gain some tokens of knowledge from it as well. So I appreciate the great conversation that we have in the chat and the comments. I mean, you see like sentences on sentences on sentences of comments. So they were engaged. This obviously seems to be a topic that a lot of people enjoyed and it touched them. So we appreciate your interaction, your activity, everyone in the chat. Miss White,
Yes.
Mr. Diaz, you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Fourth
Nightbot, Fourth
wall.
Wall, Samuel Dean, TTPT, everybody. So,
Yeah,
it was
man.
great. It was awesome.
For sure,
Awesome.
man. Family matters, man. We just broke it down. We broke down why it matters. We broke down. We defined what family is, and we define how to either keep it healthy or how to get it healthy.
Hmm.
And I think that no matter what walk of life you're from, you can take these things and implement these things.
Hmm.
But it all starts with you. It all starts with you as an individual,
Yeah.
and then if you can properly work on yourself as an individual, then you can also work together as a family, and that's why family matters.
Yes, it definitely matters.
Yes, sir.
Definitely,
Okay, okay, man. Listen, I
definitely does.
appreciate you. We're gonna do this again. I don't know if it'll be Family Matters Part Two. I
Hmm.
don't know what the next topic will be, but this is Unc. This is Nephew.
Yes, sir.
Open minds, open lines.
Yeah.
And guess what? We signing off. Hope to see you on the next show. We
Yes,
appreciate
sir.
you, and we salute all you guys. Oh,
Yes, sir. Let's get it. Oh, and chat. Don't forget. Let's go. Let's roll. Oh,
let's grow,
go,
man.
baby.
Fourth wall, man. I appreciate you. Miss White, good night to you. Appreciate all you
Yes, sir.
guys. Salute.
Definitely, sir.